been imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
Hello, race fans, and welcome to the Windy City. Yes, we are just southwest, about 15-25 minutes away from Chicago. We are in Joliet, Illinois for the Chicagoland Speedway race 15 of 19 races for the 2017 Hardline Racing League's Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tanner Sharp, and alongside me in the booth tonight, who's helped me call the action, pushing all the dot and aisles and dobs to show you the action today, is Mr. David Everly. David, welcome to Chicagoland Speedway, as this racetrack is a 1.5-mile racetrack located in Joliet, Illinois, and is a very unique mile-and-a-half track. It's not your average mile-and-a-half racetrack, though, because you're constantly turning at this racetrack. That back straightaway is far from straight. You are still technically turning. It is the only mile-and-a-half circuit that requires you really to turn. That back straightaway is about 5 degrees of banking. The turns through turns 1, 2, 3, and 4 is 18 degrees of banking, a little bit bumpy in the middle of the corners. And, of course, the start-finish line area, which is the front stretch, 11 degrees of banking. What do you know about your experience at the Chicagoland Speedway here, Dave?
It's a fast track, but it's a driver's track. As you said, these drivers are constantly turning, so tire wear is going to be key here. So it should be really great out here tonight.
You mentioned a driver's track. I would definitely agree with that, because look at the weather here, Dave. We're talking 80 degrees. It is very hot outside. Luckily, we are in the air conditioning here at Chicagoland, up here in the booth, and the track temperature is slick out there, a little slicker than usual. It's about 107 degrees is the track temperature, so that would indicate me, or that would tell me that it's a little slick out there as the tires wear off there. But before we get into all the other details, before we start the green flag here today at Chicagoland, let's go over the point standings, at least the top 10 drivers in the point standings. Michael Fennelson is 490 points. He is the points leader with 4 wins, 9 top 5s, and 12 top 10s. 490 points he has, and he's followed closely by Tyler Hensley in second spot with 486 points, only 4 points back. And Tyler does have 2 wins notched up on the season. Shane Terrian is third in points with 468 points. He's 22 points back, and with just only 4 races remaining in this season of the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series, he's going to need a lot of luck and need some more wins on the belt to really catch up to Michael Fennelson. Fourth place in points is Thomas Bresci with 456 points. That's 34 points back. Corey Blevins, fifth in the point standings. He has 411 points, 79 points back. Timothy Moore, 406 points, 84 points back in sixth. Robert Kenny in the seventh spot in points, 376 points, 114 points back. Rusty Capel is eighth in points, 366. Kyle Zimmer in ninth in points with 350. And Casey Shu rounding out the top 10 in the point standings with 335. So, Dave, after looking at the stats right here and the point standings, I'd say this is pretty, with 4 races to go, it's at least a 3-man horse to the finish between Fenelson, Hensley, and Tyrion. What are your thoughts on them 3 drivers?
Well, Sean, they're all great drivers. So, right now, taking a look here tonight, Fennelson's got the truck on the pole right now as the way it stands. So, I mean, he's the man out front, man up top on the points, so he's going to be the man to beat here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Michael Fenelson and Tyler Hensley are the closest in points that can really easily in one race swap positions and points. It's just Shane Tyrion who's the one that's got to make up the points. He's got to hope for Tyler Hensley and Fenelson to have a bad race today. He needs those guys to have a bad race, and then if they do have a bad race and they finish outside the top 20 and Tyrion finishes in the top 5, that's a good points-paying day. That's putting you up there with those top 2 drivers. So that's why I want to watch those 3 drivers as this race goes on today. Qualification has just ended here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Let's kind of walk you through the field here. I think we are starting to grid up here. Is the pace car out? It is. Pace car is out. So let's go ahead and go through the field here. Michael Fenelson is going to be on the pole today with a 30.303 in the trucks. And by the way, there's barely any cloud. There's some clouds in the air, but it's mainly all just sun beating on down the racetrack. So that's why the slower lap times in the trucks is a little more slower because of the hot, slick conditions. Walker, Texas Thomas Ranger, a.k.a. Walker Thomas, in the 12 car, starts second here tonight. Tom Bourne will start third. Fourth place, Thomas Bresci to third. Fifth place, Jonathan Wall. Patrick McLaurin in sixth. Timothy Moore will start in seventh. There's another championship driver who's in contention. Tyler Hensley will start eighth. Keep an eye on him as the race goes on today. Bradley Wilson will roll off in ninth, and rounding out this top 10, it will be Tyler Justice. Mr. Levi Zielinski, some people call him Rowdy. He will roll off in the 11th position today. Joshua Adams in the 88 will roll off 12th. Robert Kenny will roll off in the 13th position. Dylan Poliski will roll off 14th. Baron Lebosco, 15th. Zach Lindgren will roll off 16th. John Dykeman, will roll off 17th. Rusty Capel in the 18th spot here tonight. Corey Blevins, who's top 5 in points, will roll off 19th. And rounding out this top 20 will be Kyle Zimmer. Andrew Cardinal will roll off the 21st position. Robert Buckner will roll off 22nd, and he was the last driver to take a qualification time. Casey Shu in 23rd. Joe Morgranti will roll off 24th. Joshua Personette will roll off 25th, and Justin Richer will roll off the 26th position. And actually, I do believe Justin Richer is a race official for today. So if I'm not mistaken, I will double check my information here. 25 cars will take the track today at Chicagoland.
Yeah, most definitely. So it's going to be a great race here as these guys are going to battle it out for 100 laps here at Chicagoland.
Yeah, 100 laps here at the Chicagoland Speedway, mile-and-a-half racetrack. 54% is the fuel limit, aka it is the fuel load. So these guys will be hitting much quicker than your average NASCAR Camping World Truck Series truck. At least half the distance, in my opinion, because the more you're on that gas, the more you're guzzling fuel. So nonetheless, here at Chicagoland, we'll watch Fenelson. There's a driver that I am not seeing here today, Dave, and that's Shane Tyrion. I did not read him off the grid at all when I was going through the grid. So Shane Tyrion is not here today, nor is league organizer Cody Tabor. Cody Tabor sounds like he has some internet outage problems, so hopefully that all gets better, not just today, but down the road as well. But nonetheless, Michael Fennelson is going to be on the pole here. We only get one pace lap here at the Chicagoland Speedway. So Fennelson's going to walk these guys to the green flag, and we're going to see some good old truck racing in the Windy City. Here we go. Fennelson and Thomas on the front row. Green flag. We are racing at Chicagoland.
Yeah, they are still 2x2 there, as it looks like they're on the inside. Walker Thomas is going to get the good run, or Michael Fennelson, I'm sorry, is going to get the good run. He is going to hang on to that bottom lane as these guys are trying to jockey for position early, because they only got a few laps before these tires start wearing.
Jonathan Wall getting side by side with the number 12 of Walker Thomas here. That's going to be the first side-by-side battle on the racetrack. Meanwhile, there's a gaggle of cars right behind here going for a battle. That's where the 74 machine is at of Timothy Moore. He's on the apron side of the racetrack, and it is legal to go down there. I'm seeing a little bump drafting on the front straightaway here, Dave, as the 46 machine. That would be Tyler Hensley, a driver to watch out for today as well, who's only 4 points back of Fennelson, using that high line in the early stages of the race.
Yeah, most definitely, but a lot of these guys are 2 wide. Luckily, no 3 wide yet, but I have a feeling by the end of the race, we're going to see that. But these guys, as you see a bunch of those going, as you said before, going down below that white line, here through the dog leg, trying to get the shortest way around the track to use that advantage.
Before the drop of the green flag, Andrew Cardinal and Robbie Buckner will receive EOL penalties. That means the race official is telling you have to start from the tail end of the longest line on a start or restart of a race. So we'll have to keep an eye on those drivers, see how much progress they've made up. But the biggest battle up here, Dave, is Thomas Bresci on back. That is 6th place on back here. It's just battle all over the speedway here, and I'm not seeing too much battle for the top 5 spot or the race lead. But that biggest battle here is 6th place on back. Thomas Bresci, actually 5th place on back. Thomas Bresci, Patrick McLaurin, Tyler Justice is here. There's Tyler Hensley on the bottom side, working underneath of Joshua Adams. Looks like Adams is going to get the momentum. Looks like that bottom line is kind of dissipating a little bit here, Dave. You would think the bottom line is the way to go, but in hot, slick conditions and dynamic track surfaces on the iRacing sim, it does open up a multi-groove racetrack. Yeah,
most definitely. But like I said, though, I think tire wear, especially with the high temperature here tonight of 100 track temperature of 107 degrees, man, that is going to wear these tires down quick. Here's we are just now working on lap 5.
Yeah, we're working on lap 5. Sorry to interrupt you there, Dave. I looked like the 83 truck of Bradley P. Wilson. Washed up the track just a little bit. I thought he really pushed tight, but it's just, I guess I'm just seeing things here. But although it looks like everybody's working the middle groove of the racetrack, where everybody's single file pretty much. Not seeing any major battles out there.
Well, we got a little battle going back here in for 16th place between Baron Labosco there, as he is working that inside of the 15 of John Dykeman, as he is going to overtake that position, take the 16th position away. But right there, the 20 of Kyle Zimmer also right there trying to take advantage of it as they go back single file.
Yeah, Dykeman back here in the 17th spot got a little loose. Looked like on the high side, just the back end of the truck kicking out. But the truck that's on the high side, I don't think he actually he just lost a position to the 99 truck. That was Bradley P. Wilson, but he's coming back and firing on all 4 cylinders, actually more than that, on Corey Blevins in the 99 truck. So these guys are battling.
Yeah, you got a 3 truck pack here. They're just kind of running single file here, as it looks like Corey Blevins, thinking about trying to dip down low, just kind of hangs there. He's electing to stay a little bit away from that bottom lane there, staying away from the apron and just kind of washing up towards the wall there. But once again, back below that white line there, trying to take the shortest way around the track.
Tyler Justice was just under attack for his 6th position from Patrick McLaurin in the 81 Pennzoil Silverado out here. Coming off turn 2 right now. They are single file, but look like McLaurin could not do too much throughout the front stretch on Tyler Justice. Right now, Tyler Justice is really getting closer and closer to the 25 machine of Thomas Bresci for that top 5 spot, and he's going to go for it on the front stretch here, taking the apron side of the racetrack. Bresci's up high on the lower groove part of the racetrack here. Who's going to win this battle between Thomas Bresci and Tyler Justice side by side down into turn number 1? Who's going to get loose? Who's going to have the grip? And it looks like Tyler Justice really making that bottom side work in 1 and 2, still sticking side by side. And there's another battle back there between the 74 machine and the 88 of Joshua Adams in the 88 and Timothy Moore in the 74. McDonald's Silverado. Looks like the old Bill Elliott paint scheme. It actually is. Got a bunch of battles going on here, Dave. At least 2 of them. That's from my count.
Yeah, going a little further back here, Levi Zelensky's just kind of riding there as he's watching a battle between Corey Blevins and Bradley Wilson here, as they are side by side, but looks like Corey Blevins had to back it down because he started washing up. That is going to let Bradley Wilson come, but here comes Zelensky. He's looking to overtake and take 12th position away from Corey Blevins.
Yeah, Zelensky so far started 11th, currently in the 13th spot at the moment. Actually, 12th spot. He did beat Blevins to the line that time by. So Zelensky's pretty much around the same area where he started since the drop of the green flag. And speaking of drivers that have been on the move since the drop of the... Oh, we got crashed. The 81 machine's around. Big accident down the back straightaway. That will be Patrick McLaurin in the Pennzoil truck. And we got quite a few trucks involved in this, Dave. Let's pull it up on the Dre Broadcasting Network replay and tell me what you see.
Well, it looks like it involved Tyler Justice as well in the 81 machine of Patrick McLaurin. So we're going to rewind it here as Tyler Justice, gets into the wall, coming out of turn 2, comes down and hits the back quarter panel of the 81 and gets him around. And Corey Blevins, nowhere to go, runs right into the 81. So that is going to bring out our first caution of the night.
Oh, Dave, would we be able to pull up an onboard of the 74 truck? That would be Timothy Moore.
Well, as we are going to go here to the onboard of the 74 and take a see what exactly he's looking at. Does this happen right in front of him?
I'm not going to tell you what happened here, folks, but just watch this wreck avoidance from Timothy Moore. They're wrecking, and it looked like he was going to get loose. Oh, almost annihilated Tyler Hensley. And yes, Tyler Hensley, a championship contender, is involved in this incident here at Chicagoland.
Well, taking a look, it looks like everybody is going to come down onto pit road here on lap number 14. So we have everybody down on pit road as we speak.
Tom Bourne overshot his pit box a little bit, but nonetheless, it was Fennelson leading the charge down pit road here. Let's see who's going to take 4 tires and who's going to take 2 tires or no tires. I would imagine everybody's going to take 4, and indeed, everybody does take 4. It is Fennelson winning the charge off pit road. It looked like Walker Thomas got 2nd, Jonathan Wall 3rd, Joshua Adams 4th, and the top 5, Tom Bourne. Oh, with that being... Oh, go ahead, Dave.
Well, Tanner, I was just informed that Shane Tyrion is actually on deployment right now with the military, so that's the reason that he's not here tonight. But I want to just go ahead and say, Shane, you're in our thoughts and prayer, and hope everything goes okay for you there, buddy.
Thoughts and prayers on my end, indeed, as well, and God bless you there, Shane. Nonetheless, here at the Chicagoland Speedway, after a pit stop cycle here, and I tell you what, speaking of championship contention here, I'm trying to see on my list of drivers, trying to find the 46 machine of Tyler Hensley. I do believe he does have some damage on this truck right now. Hopefully he gets all that fixed and ready to go. I'm not really seeing apparent too heavy damage on that 46 machine, but we'll keep you updated as this race continues here. Nonetheless, Michael Fennelson won that race off pit road. Walker Thomas is in 2nd, Jonathan Wall in 3rd, Joshua Adams in 4th, Tom Bourne in 5th here, and that is your top 5 rundown after pit stops. Let's see here, just kind of scrolling through the field here. That was a good 13 lap stint, Dave, and I don't know. Let's see. Is Tyler Hensley down here in TeamSpeak? If we could pull him up for a quick chat here before we go back to green flag. Yes, he is. Tyler Hensley is here. Let's pull him up here. Tyler Hensley, Dre Broadcast Network. Tanner here. Do you have a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Tyler, you look like you were racing pretty good back there, and at least looking in that top 10 spot, in that top 10 area spot right there. But unfortunately, you got involved into an accident. How bad is the truck? And according to my view, it doesn't look all that bad. And but you would be the one that'd be telling the judge of that one. But if it's not all that bad, would you be able to get back up towards the front?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I think it's going to be okay as long as it doesn't blow up, which the temps are going down, so I think it's going to be fine. I'm just upset and kind of voiced my frustrations with him already. I don't understand why he was driving so hard this early in the race, but it is what it is.
All right, we are on the 1-to-go signal there, Tyler, and we hope you're able. Hopefully, there's not a lot of damage on that truck, and you get that thing back up there in the top 10 because this is a huge championship implications for you here today at Chicagoland.
You got it. I'm going to get me some.
That was Tyler Hensley, folks, in the 46 truck machine. He's going to be back there in the 21st position. We are in the discount Civil Auto Tire, as we are on the 1-to-go signal. Fennelson is out front. He's got nothing to worry about. In that, I want to call him it is the evil machine. I mean, as it looks on the front of his car, I'm reading evil, so I'm assuming it's the evil machine. And he's being evil to the field today because he's going to take the green flag, and he's led every single lap so far. So here comes Michael Fennelson back down to the green flag here. Green, green, green. We are back. Green flag racing at Chicagoland. Dead even at the line between Fennelson and Walker Thomas. And actually, Thomas did beat Fennelson to the line there. And Fennelson on the bottom side of the racetrack in 1 and 2 is going to get the momentum through the middle of the corner there on Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas is still riding in second. The number 2 car, Jonathan Wall, coming from 5th place again, up the 3rd spot, but under attack from the 40 machine of Tom Bourne. But he's got another driver all up in his back bumper there. That would be the 88 machine of Joshua Adams.
An interesting fact here, taking a look though, Tanner. Fastest lap time so far here in the race. It looks like Walker Thomas has got the fastest time with a 30.566. Meanwhile, Michael Fennelson's fastest time here tonight so far was a 30.611.
That's interesting, too, because I know Walker Thomas was fast in practice until Fennelson beat him on the speed charts. But, man, those two drivers have been class of field today. We got a battle for the race lead here up towards the front. Here we go. Fennelson's on the high side. Walker Thomas on the inside. Walker did beat Fennelson to the line last time by to get a bonus point for leading a lap, or at least to lead a lap. Still side by side down the back straightaway. This is the first time under green flag conditions that the lead has been challenged for the race lead. Looks like Walker Thomas almost clears him, gets a little loose coming off turn number 4. And to the line it will be Fennelson to the line. But look in the rearview mirror, here comes Tom Bourne in the 40 machine. The Ditech.com truck. Oh, getting a nice little run, has nowhere to go. Oh, all over that back bumper of Walker Thomas off turn number 2. Now here comes Tom Bourne down towards the inside on Walker Thomas, side by side. And I tell you what, Fennelson's got a rear view full of 2 drivers, and he doesn't know which lane to go down, and that was probably the best lane he could choose. It was probably down towards that inside apron down there. And, oh, this is getting some dicey racing for the race lead up towards the spot, but look what happened here, Dave. It brought everybody up close to these guys.
Yeah, as we jump here on the in-car, the 2 of Jonathan Wall, he is watching this battle for second place right from his windshield. Well, actually, folks, we're watching it now, too, here, as it looks like, Walker Thomas is going to lose another spot here to Jonathan Wall. And Jonathan Wall is going to get side by side here coming into turn number 1.
Side by side for that second spot still continues. Looks like Walker Thomas is actually going to lose second to Tom Bourne. And now you got Jonathan Wall, who's going to challenge for 3rd place on Walker Thomas. Can't quite get to him side by side entering the corner. So those top 4 is going to remain single file, but we do got a battle for the top 5 spot. Joshua Adams on the high side in the 88. Down below is the 74 machine of Timothy Moore. That is a battle for the top 5 spot. Now, Adams has had the top 5 spot, and Adams is actually one of the biggest movers of the race today. Realistically, he's coming from the 12th position. He's up there challenging or getting challenged for the top 5 spot. And we'll go through the field here a little later on here in the race to see who's been moving up through the field and who the biggest mover is. But we do got a battle for second place, excuse me, once again. Walker Thomas and Tom Bourne going at it here. And I bet Fennelson is loving this.
Well, I am going to go back here and take a look. Tyler Hensley, after that incident there under the yellow, he had to start in the back of the field, but he has already moved up into 17th position. He is putting the hammer down. He is getting around these guys. But up in front of him, he's got the 54 of Baron Labosco and the 85 of Zach Lindgren. They are battling it out right there in front of him. Also right in front of them, the 8 of Andrew Cardinal as well. So, you know, he's catching the field, but he has got to get around these guys because they are battling.
Got to keep an eye on Tyler Hensley. He did mention temperatures were up, but they were going down under the caution lap, so hopefully he does not blow up in this green flag stint right now. The top 5 drivers, Fennelson, Michael Fennelson, Walker Thomas, Tom Bourne, Jonathan Wall, and Timothy Moore. The top 4 drivers are nose to tail, but they are remaining single file at the moment right now. No battles up towards the top 4. Timothy Moore is currently in the 5th spot, but there is a battle for 6th place. The 25 machine of Thomas Bresci and the 88 of Joshua Adams getting door to door, ever so close, ever so fast down the back straightaway here. And like we said at the top of the show, you're constantly really turning at this racetrack. That back straightaway, it does have an arc of a turn to it. As this battle for 6 is actually going to calm down a little bit, even though we're still nose to tail.
Yep, so we are 74 laps remaining here. We are seeing a little bit of a hornet's nest back here in 6th place, and the yellow is out again, Tanner.
Yellow flag is out here at the Chicagoland Speedway trying to find the cause of this incident.
Well, that is going to involve the 46 of Tyler Hensley again. So we are going to pull up the Dre Broadcast and instant replay here as we see him running. 7 of Tyler Justice right behind him, gives him a bump in the turn and gets him sent around. He is going to hit that back bumper against the outside wall, cause a little bit more damage. Let's take another look at that here real quick.
Yeah, I mean, that was down entering turn number 1 here, folks, as looks like the number 8 machine, as you pointed out, Dave, got into the back bumper of Tyler Hensley. And that did give Hensley damage, but I think what really gave Hensley even more damage was hitting the outside wall in turn 1 and 2. He did have it locked down to try to slow down as much as he can. But if any kind of damage came out of this, Dave, it's the rear end of the truck. I would keep an eye on Andrew Cardinal's number 8 machine because he would have some right in the front of the hood down there where the grill opening is. That could damage his truck as well. So right now, pit road is open. Everybody hitting the pits. Michael Fennelson, Walker Thomas, Tom Bourne, Jonathan Wall, Timothy Moore, your top 5 entering pit road here. And so far, I am seeing everybody's right side's going up. Yes, everybody's right side's going up. Changing 2 right side tires. Going on the left side. Oh, we do have a 2-tire changer. And that's going to be the 88 of Joshua Adams. Taking a 2-tire gamble here as it's going to be Adams winning the charge off pit road, followed by Michael Fennelson, Walker Thomas, Tom Bourne, and Jonathan Wall, your top 5 drivers exiting the pits. Well, all right. This is an interesting call here, Dave. That was a pretty short stint. I'm trying to see how many laps that was right there. I wasn't paying attention on the amount of laps. You're talking about 11 laps. That was at least 11 laps. Or no, excuse me. At least, about 9 laps it was. So with that stint. So this is truly a gamble on that 88 car's 2 tires stopped right there. So let's see if the 2 tires will hold up here. Let's see if we get the 1 to go signal this time by. No 1 to go signal. We are going to go another lap around Chicagoland Speedway. So with that being said, we're going to take a commercial break here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. Don't go away.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, folks, to the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series for the Hardline Racing League. We are on the 1 to go signal, and we do have a gamble strategy up towards the front here. That is Joshua Adams in the 88, gambling on a 2-tire strategy here, so he's kind of begging for a caution flag, realistically, in order for this to play out. Otherwise, I think he's going to slip back, especially in these hot track conditions. Joshua Adams is your race leader. Michael Fennelson in 2nd place. Walker Thomas in 3rd. Tom Bourne in 4th. Jonathan Wall 5th. Thomas Bressie in 6th. Bradley Wilson in 7th. Timothy Moore in 8th. Levi Zielinski in 9th. And rounding out this top 10 is Robert Kenny.
Well, we are coming into turn number 3, getting ready to go back green flag racing here at Chicagoland. So looks like Fennelson is going to take the inside or outside. Yeah, Fennelson going to take the outside. Joshua Adams on the inside. Walker Thomas in the 2nd row with the 40 of Tom Bourne. So this is going to be an interesting restart as the pace car now dips off. We are getting ready to go green flag racing. Joshua Adams controlling this restart. Green flag out, but here comes the 14 of Michael Fennelson. He sees it coming as he is side by side with Joshua Adams as they come across the start finish line.
Oh, man, it looked like Walker Thomas wanted to take it 3 wide, but the door got shut on him. Battle for that top spot up towards the front. It is Joshua Adams and Fennelson. Fennelson on the high side in the 14. Joshua Adams on the inside in that curved Toyota Tundra. Down in turn 3, bouncing. Oh, this track is a bouncy racetrack as they're going to split. Oh, Fennelson in the wall. Huge accident on the front stretch. The caution flag is out.
Well, we are going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay. Even though we saw it live, we are going to pull it back up here. We are going to focus there on Fennelson. As it started right up front there, as it looked like a little 3 wide action there.
Yeah, it was. But I do want to point out here on the replay, Dave, that look how much room there was when the 3 wide first began between the 12, the 88, and the 14. I think the 88 got the notification that he was 3 wide, but I think he was also a little sideways too, the 88, and he tried to catch it, and there was just no room to catch it when you're, sandwiched like that, and just annihilated into the 14. 14 took a hard lick into the outside wall here. Levi Zielinski's involved, so is Bradley Wilson's involved. Oh, Timothy Moore's involved. A lot of people are involved in this. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that's going to constitute as the big one there, Taylor.
Oh, yeah. And we thought we just left the big one at Talladega a week ago. I'm still looking at the replay on my end of the screen. I think the luckiest guy out of that was probably that 40. Actually, the 40 car did get damaged for annihilating the 14. There's a bunch of guys that are involved with this. I think the number 20 machine just squeaked by. That would be Kyle Zimmer. Oh, Dave, gone. That's a lot of drivers involved, Dave.
Yeah, it looks like everyone except for the top 3 has gone down on pit road, so that's going to be a lot of cars. Now the question is who's going to be able to get repaired and get back out here and salvage some points.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still literally trying to go through everybody that was involved in this incident. Okay, we're just gonna go like this. Drivers sitting on pit road. Michael Fennelson, who's been the pole sitter and pretty much the dominant truck of the race. Tom Bourne, he was in the top 5 as well. Robert Kenny was involved. He's got serious damage. The 2 car of Jonathan Wall. Patrick McLaurin, Timothy Moore, Bradley Wilson. Still trying to. Levi Zielinski. Joshua Adams, obviously, since he was the up towards the front battling for the race lead. Rusty Capel, Casey Shue, and I believe that is it. I named off all those drivers that were involved.
Yeah, and it looks like the 99 of Corey Blevins is taking it behind the wall. Same with the 7 of Tyler Justice. He is behind the wall as well. So Dylan Polinsky is behind the wall, and Robert Buckner also behind the wall. So we have 4 cars now that have decided to take their trucks. Go ahead and take them back to the hauler.
At least 13 trucks were involved in this incident, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. But right now we've only got 10 trucks out on the track, so
yeah, that was majority of the field.
Good news, the 81 machine is back out on the track. He is coming off of pit road. That's Patrick McLaurin, currently 7 laps down, but he is back out on the track.
Okay, so let's reset this for you right now since we are on the 1 to go signal. It is Walker Thomas, your race leader right now. He is one of the drivers that stayed out. Thomas Bresci is in 2nd place. He's another driver that stayed out. And John Dykeman, who is another driver that stayed out as well. Now, these other next drivers I'm about to name off have pitted and have little to some damage from this previous incident and are still out there and able to run. That is Kyle Zimmer in 3rd. 4th place is Kyle Zimmer. Zach Lindgren is in the 5th spot. Andrew Cardinal in 6th. Tyler Hensley in 7th. Joshua Personette is in 8th. Jonathan Wall in 9th. And I believe Robert Kenny in the number 10 is going to be rounding out the top 10 on the racetrack. Everybody else on pit road. We do have, however, the 54 machine, Baron Labosco, exiting the pits right now, trying to catch the field, but we are going green this time by. So here we go. Pace cars down pit road here. It is Walker Thomas. May I add also, as we're coming to take the green flag, we are racing here back at Chicagoland Speedway, and we are on lap 37 out of 100. 64 laps to go, so not past the halfway mark yet.
Yeah, but we still got some battles here. I was taking a look here at Kyle Zimmer. He's under fire there from Zach Lindgren as they are side by side here. But the 8 of Andrew Cardinal, he's back here. He's just looking for a place to go. He is wanting to get around these guys as well, as it looks like Lindgren is going to clear the 20 of Kyle Zimmer and take away that number 4 position.
Yeah, it is the biggest battle on the racetrack, and I do have to add, a driver that squeaked by that incident almost got annihilated by Robert Kenny, was that number 20 machine of Kyle Zimmer. I am not seeing any apparent damage whatsoever. So, and according to the replay that I've seen, he just squeaked by. So good. That's good news for Kyle Zimmer to avoid that incident, and hopefully he's regained his thoughts. Now he's up there racing, pretty much racing for a top 5 spot.
Yeah, as you said, that took out. I mean, we still have. Just look, Tom Bourne has taken his truck behind the wall back to the hauler as well. So still sitting down on pit road, you got Michael Fennelson, Bradley Wilson, Rusty Capel, Casey Shue, Joshua Adams, and Levi Zielinski still sitting down on pit road trying to get that damage fixed, as we are being led by the 12 of Walker Thomas, the 25 of Thomas Bresci, the third sitting there in second, Zon Dykeman third, Zach Lindgreen fourth, Andrew Cardinal rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, and 11 drivers remain on the lead lap here at Chicagoland. Everybody else, I mean literally from 12th place on back, is about 5 laps or more down. So if any of those drivers do come on the racetrack, they are eligible to come get the lucky dog if we do get another caution flag. But a majority of all of them drivers are on pit road getting damage repairs done.
Yeah, it looks like the only driver right now out on the track that could be eligible for lucky dog if the yellow was to come out will be the 81 of Patrick McLaurin, who is 14 laps down. So he's sitting in a spot where he could possibly get some of those lap backs, as we have a lot of drivers sitting down on pit road trying their pit crew, busy at work. But taking a look here, it looks like we're pretty much single file here, Tanner.
Yeah, absolutely. I was watching the battle between Tyler Hensley and the 16. These guys have been really going at it for the 7th position on the speedway, back and forth. Joshua Personette and Tyler Hensley for 7th place back there. Those guys have been really going battle to battle, and it's really slowing down their lap times. Everybody else is single file. So, Dave, I know we're under green flag conditions, but I am going to bring somebody up here at least in the booth with us here fairly shortly, and that's going to be one of the drivers that was involved in this incident. That is going to be Levi Zielinski. Levi Zielinski, Dre Broadcast Network, do you have a copy? I guess he set down the mic. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey, Levi. Well, that was a very unfortunate incident. We are watching pretty much a single file. We might have the race lead going up for the battle here fairly soon between Thomas Bresci and Walker Thomas. Otherwise, everybody else is pretty much driving single file. But otherwise, there's about 11 trucks on the lead lap. What, from your vantage point in that accident there, Levi, what all happened there?
Unfortunately, it was just the cause of somebody taking 2 tires and, ran out of talent. I mean, unfortunately.
Well, that's very, unfortunate that because you were having a strong run. You actually cracked the top 10, and now with the way you drive the truck here, do you always run the bottom, or do you try to change up your line a little bit as the tires wear on?
The first 5 laps I always on the bottom just because of how it is there. But after about 10 laps, I'm going to start running the top side because the top side has actually more speed than the bottom does once you get that wear on the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that I was documenting at the top of the show of the broadcast here today on Dre Broadcast Network for these fellas here. But I tell you what, it looked like there was some fantastic racing out there. You were actually losing a little track position at the start of the green flag, and then eventually you found yourself in the top 5. Was there some kind of strategy, like how bad are the tires really wearing out there? If some drivers do take 2 tires and some drivers, majority of the field does take 4. Is the tires really wearing that bad out there?
Yeah, tires are tremendous at, any track really, and here it's really a lot. I mean, you're getting, 2/10 slower even, on fresh tires versus 5 lap old, so it's definitely worth it. And I always, on the beginning of my runs, I always take it easy just because I don't want to wear out my tires. So I just start, pacing myself, and then about 10 laps I'll start getting into it a little bit more once people start wearing theirs down, just, getting it that way.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's pretty much a tire saving deal right there, as you just pointed out. But I tell you what, now in your opinion, how long could you go on a fuel stint? As pretty much everybody on track right now still remains single file. But I tell you what, Thomas Bresci is still keeping tabs with Walker Thomas. But on the fuel deal, how far could you think you could have gone on fuel if we remain green flag?
I was kind of thinking you'd probably range anywhere from about 30 to 35 laps, I was guessing, because it is 50% fuel, or 54%, I think. So I was thinking about 30, 35, but I wasn't sure. I was trying to estimate it that last caution.
All right, there, Levi. Well, we thank you for coming to talk with us here, and actually, we can probably just leave you here in the booth here today at Chicagoland, just kind of talk. And now up towards the front, we do have a battle for the race, not really battle for the race lead, but what do you think Thomas Bressi could do to get by Walker Thomas? Walker Thomas just seems like he's one of the drivers that has the class of the field here today as far as speed charts is concerned. But Thomas Bressi's right on up there. He qualified 4th, and right now he's running 2nd. What do you think he has to do to try to get around Walker Thomas? Looks like we do have some technical difficulties there. But Levi, we thank you for coming to take your time to come talk with us here today on the Driver Broadcasting Network.
Oh, my bad, dude.
That was Levi Zielinski right there, involved in that accident, and that's very unfortunate for him. But Thomas Bressi, in my opinion here, folks, he's going to have to try to switch up his line just a little bit. And I do believe he's driving the same line. He's trying to drive the same line here. He's closing up right there on Walker Thomas. He's just trying to drive the same line, maybe drive it a little bit higher than what Walker Thomas is actually doing here. They are coming up on a slow car down turn number 3 drastically, and that was Patrick McLaurin.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look here. Looks like the field's pretty spread out except for these two. They are running about a little over a 1/10 second apart, but back in 3rd you got Dykeman. He is about 1.7 seconds from the leader. Then you got Zach Lindgren. He is currently about 3.3 seconds. Andrew Cardinal there about 4.9. Kyle Zimmer there about 6 seconds behind. But he's got Tyler, I'll tell you what, here's another battle brewing up. He's got the 46 of Tyler Hensley. He is trying to take advantage of all this here as he is now up into 7th place.
Well, let's speaking of Tyler Hensley here, he's currently running in 7th, but he's going to try to work for a position on Kyle Zimmer for that 6th spot. Now, there, Michael Fennelson is still remaining on pit road, getting his truck repaired, currently in 15th right now. So this is definitely a gain and a positive for Tyler Hensley after being involved in 2 incidents today here at Chicagoland Speedway.
Yeah, he's got to take advantage of it. He's going to need the points. These guys, him and Fiddleson will probably be battling out for the championship. But then again, somebody else could have a really good race and close those points up. So just about anything's possible. It's not over till it's over till the end of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's still, and actually, believe it or not, before the drop of the green flag here, Fennelson had a 4-point lead over Tyler Hensley, but Tyler Hensley's still on track and actually getting another position on the track. He's become our new points leader here, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely, but I don't think Fennelson's going to be done with it. He's gonna come back with a vengeance. He's gonna want that points lead back.
And speaking of that, we be sure to catch us next weekend here on the Hardline Racing League for the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series. We are next week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway on August 16, 2017, live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network at 9 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to catch that race down in Vegas. I just wonder who's down there is going to feel lucky.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are beyond the halfway point of tonight's race with 45 laps to go. Taking a look here, our leaders were currently about 27 laps. 4th place back through 8th place, 22 laps. So, taking in effect what Levi Zielinski was saying, about 30 to 35 laps. So we're about to start seeing maybe some green flag pit stops. Now the question is you do have Walker Thomas and Thomas Bressi out there, but a little further back you've got John Dykeman, Andrew Cardinal, Tyler Hensley. The question is are we going to see the guys in the back try to come in first so they can get those fresh tires there and try to catch them leaders, or are they going to wait till the leaders come down?
I don't know, but either way, you do have to count that we did have a caution lap there, and that was actually after a green flag pit stop too, and that big accident took place. So we do have caution flags caution flag laps in them laps. So that's something to keep an eye on as well. But I'm sure as long as you're in the gas, the more gas you're guzzling out of your truck.
Yeah, most definitely is. We see the 10 machine of Robert Kenny going down. He is now 2 laps down as they get around him, putting him down another lap. So he is currently sitting there in 10th position, just trying to salvage the most he can here tonight. Casey Shue back out on the track there. He is still damaged. Patrick McLaurin moving up into the 13th position.
Pit stops beginning here, Dave. It is Thomas Bressie down pit road. So this is the first start of the green flag pit stops. Thomas Bressie opens up the door. Here comes the number 4 machine of Casey Shue, who is 13 laps down. Trying to see who else is going to come down pit road. The race leader. The 12 actually stays out, but here comes the 15 of John Dykeman down towards pit road.
Yep, green flag pit stops kicking in here with 41 laps to go. The thing of it is, though, Tanner, if they're coming down now and what Levi said about 30 to 35 laps, they're still going to have to pit one more time, at least get a splash of fuel.
Yeah, absolutely. And so this is like 5 laps short of the window. So you're really got to be in contention on saving some gas out there. Here comes the race leader right now. Walker Thomas down pit road. We do have a new. Do we have a new race leader? Not this time by. Actually, yeah, this time by Andrew Cardinal does take the race lead. He was able to beat Walker Thomas to the start-finish line while Walker was on pit road. So Andrew Cardinal becomes your new race leader. Tyler Hensley's in second place, who's just right behind him. And Tyler's been gaining on Andrew for the last couple laps. And here we go. We do got a battle for the race lead shaping up on the speedway. This looks like it's Andrew who's going to come down pit road. Tyler Hensley has yet to lead a lap today. He's going to lead a lap right now.
Yeah, so it looks like right about 30 laps is the most that we've seen drivers going so far. So, but we are still here, 39 laps to go. So, if that's the case, Tanner, unless they can save fuel, but they're going to have to save a lot of fuel to be able to push it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're going to be clutching it. That's for sure. But the problem is this is a cookie-cutter racetrack for these trucks. And you're only going about 180 some miles an hour entering a corner. You just kind of just let off the gas, let the truck coast. Tyler Hensley does come down pit road. Jonathan Wall is actually coming off of turn number 4 right now. I do believe Jonathan Wall did not get to the line in time to lead a lap. He did not. So Hensley, so right now Jonathan Wall becomes your new race leader.
Yeah, but Hensley or Jonathan Wall now 29 laps, so we are just waiting. Jonathan Wall's got to come down and pit. Robert Kenny on 26 laps, he's got to come down and pit, and also Patrick McLaurin 28 laps. Both of those lap down trucks, but they still are a remainder of pit, and then everybody else looks like they pitted.
Yeah, absolutely. As look at the difference between Walker Thomas and Thomas Bressie. Pretty much a 3-second differential from when the time I called down Thomas Bressie down pit road, and also was race leader Walker Thomas. That is a huge gap between the two drivers, and those two drivers seem fairly even. As you know, since the restart there, Dave.
Yeah, most definitely. But now Thomas Bressie coming down before Walker Thomas, getting them fresh tires. So he is in position to take the race lead as Jonathan Wall is down on pit road. So we are just waiting. There's Thomas Bressie. He is going to take the race lead here with Walker Thomas right about 2.3 seconds behind him, actually in closing.
Let's throw in another driver to get his thoughts on the deal today here at the Chicagoland Speedway, and he's the number 4 machine that was involved in that incident of Casey Shue. Casey Shue, Dre Broadcasting Network, do you have a copy?
Yeah.
Well, we just finished green flag pit stops here at the Chicagoland Speedway. Jonathan Wall actually putting on 4 tires, and he's ready to go. But I tell you what, from your vantage point on that big accident, what could you see in your cockpit view?
Absolutely nothing. I heard someone say crap, and then there was just cars everywhere.
Yeah, there definitely was cars everywhere. At least up here in the booth, there's not a lot of smoke coming in your face, unlike when you're in the truck and all of a sudden you can't see and you got all that smoke in your face. But how hard is Chicagoland Speedway in hot, slick conditions like this? Because it's from what we heard at Levi. Oh, we got a spin, and it's Andrew Cardinal on the speedway here, Dave. He is down towards the infield grass, trying to nurse it towards pit road. Actually, he got tagged by somebody. He did get tagged. Well, actually, no, he did not get tagged. He actually just got loose. Excuse me. Down in turn number 4, just simply lost it.
Well, we were going to pull up the Dre broadcast and replay, see if we can't rewind it back here.
Oh,
See
Kyle
exactly
Zimmer.
He was just running right there behind it. Yeah, that back end just kicked out from behind him.
Yeah, it kicked out right behind it, and he overcorrected, knocked it into the outside wall. And when he did that, it just annihilated Zimmer. I'm surprised that was not even a caution flag. Holy cow. But we still remain green flag with Thomas Bresci in the lead, Walker Thomas in second, Tyler Hensley in third, and John Dykeman, the pretty much the only 4 trucks on the lead lap right now. Zach Lindgren, the only truck that's 1 lap down in 5th. And joining us up here in the booth still is Casey Shue. And Casey, sorry for the interruption here. We had some action going on the racetrack here, but I tell you what, how hard here at Chicagoland is it to pass in these hot, slick conditions, in your own thoughts?
The conditions are fun. I mean, sliding around, that's what we've all been begging for the whole year. Passing is a little bit hard. I mean, but it's what makes it fun. So, but yeah, definitely, it's a tough race.
Yeah, and I seen that Joshua Adams, who took 2 tires early in the race, it was a strategy call. He only had about a good 5 to 7 laps on them tires. Do the tires, in your own thoughts, do the tires really wear that quickly? From my understanding of, we talked to Levi Zielinski earlier, he says they're just dreadful. Your own thoughts?
Well, I mean, the tires go off fast, but it's also how you take care of them. I mean, I think taking 2 tires this early might not have been the best move. I'm not going to bash anybody. That's just my own thoughts. But I mean, it's racing, so that's what he thought the best move was. But I thought it might have been a little bit too early to start taking that gamble.
Yeah, absolutely, Casey. And you were top 10 in the point standings, and you had a good race day a couple weeks ago at Eldora by finishing in 2nd place, and you notched that up with a top 4 or another top 5 finish at Talladega a week ago. What are your thoughts? Do you think you can get a better finish this week, next week at Las Vegas, and possibly a victory lane there, Casey?
Well, the last time I went to Las Vegas this year, I messed up and we didn't have another caution. So hopefully, I just want to redeem myself for that. But yeah, the past couple of weeks, I've just having better runs, and hopefully, this week won't stop that, and I can just keep working my way up. It sucks. Eldora was fun. It sucked because I don't think the winner really was here the whole year, and then he comes up. But it's how it goes. So I'll take a 2nd place in the momentum it gave.
All right, Casey. Well, thank you for coming to talk with us today as the race is still going on here, as we do have Walker Thomas getting closer and closer to Thomas Bresci. So we're going to let you go and call this action.
Thanks.
That was Casey Shue, folks, who was in the top 10 points, driver of the number 4 machine here tonight for the Hardline Racing League, the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series, as here comes Walker Thomas. Walker Thomas, Thomas Bresci. Walker finally caught Bresci. Now it's just a matter of passing him, Dave.
Well, taking a look here, we still got 27 laps to go as they cross the start finish, so that's a good job by Walker Thomas. He has caught the 25 of Thomas Bresci, but I'm looking at lap times and our speeds here. I think Thomas Bresci is in a little conservation mode right now.
Just a little bit, and I think, and in a way, it's kind of a good thing too, because what happened in that, this past week in the NASCAR Monster Energy Cup Series, or shall I say, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at Watkins Glen? How did Martin Truex Jr. win that race? He backed off, let someone pass, a couple cars past him, won the race. In this case, you're letting Walker Thomas pass you, so we'll have to keep an eye on this.
Yeah, but the thing is, too, Thomas Bresci's got 2 extra laps on his tires compared to Walker Thomas as well. These are all green flags laps, too, because we've just cycled through our green flag pit stops. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with 26 laps to go, we are going to take a commercial break here. Our final break of the night is we are going to bring you the conclusion here at Chicagoland for the Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series. We'll be right back.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back to Chicagoland Speedway for the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series for the Hardline Racing League race 15 out of 19 races here at the Chicagoland Speedway. As green flag pit stops has just ended, It is Walker Thomas out front after pitting with 2 laps earlier than Thomas Baresi. It's got about a 3-second lead over the top 2 drivers. Tyler Hensley remains in the 3rd spot, and John Dykman in the 4th spot on the racetrack. The only top 4 drivers remaining on the lead lap, with Jonathan Wall, the first car 1 lap down, in 5th. And joining us up here in the booth once again here this evening is Mr. Levi Zielinski. Levi, I know you're just watching the race now, and you're pretty much done for this race, but this is going to be an exciting finish between 2 drivers who've been pretty much even all race long.
Yeah, it definitely is. It may come down to an old Dale Senior bump and run at the end. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, sometimes, as Dale would put it, rattle the cage just a little bit. But I tell you what, just kind of keep an eye on lap times here. The last 2 laps, Thomas Baresi has through about 2/10, a 10th each lap. So Thomas is doing what he can to catch up to him, almost hitting the outside wall coming off turn number 2. As here's Walker Thomas coming up on lap traffic here. I don't think it's going to be too much of a factor. It should not be. That he's passing the 54 machine of Baron Labosco. But yeah, so far the top 2 drivers pretty much the main race here at Chicagoland with 15 laps remaining. 3 cautions for 11 laps. Ever since that big one there, Levi, this race has really calmed down and really spread out.
Yeah, it has. I'm kind of surprised that I didn't see a lot of people start migrating to that higher groove. I've seen Walker do it a little bit, but not to the very end. I'm just kind of a little bit surprised there, but Thomas has definitely got to pick it up if he's going to want to get towards that lead.
Definitely is going to have to pick it up right now, as I would say you better go right now. And he did gain 2/10 in 1 lap right here. So it is now down to 2.5 seconds between Baresi and Walker, Texas Thomas Ranger, who's leading the race right now. We do have another lap car getting the heck out of the way. That would be Robert Kenny in the number 10, and one of them evil. Coming off turn number 4, Walker Thomas, your race leader, Thomas Baresi. Actually, let's kind of go through the field here. I know a lot of drivers are wrecked, but let's kind of go through the field here. Walker Thomas is your race leader. Thomas Baresi is in 2nd place, trying to hunt and gain. Actually, last time by, he lost a 10th at the start-finish line. Tyler Hensley in 3rd place, who becomes your new championship point leader after today's race at Chicagoland, which we will get to in a bit. John Dykman is in 4th spot, the last remaining car on the lead lap. Jonathan Wall in the 5th spot here, 1 lap down. He sounds like he's going to get a top 5 finish today, because he does have 1 lap over the 6th place truck, Baron Labosco. 7th place, Zach Lindgren. 7th, he's got some damage from that big accident. Robert Kenny as well, who's actually just limping around the speedway, in 8th. Patrick McLaurin also limping around the speedway on the apron of the racetrack, in 9th. And Kyle Zimmer, who is, I believe, is out of this race. Yes, he is out. He actually disconnected from the server, so he is indefinitely out. So is Andrew Cardinal in 11th. Michael Fennelson, who was the points leader, remains on pit road trying to get as much damage repaired, unless he's sitting back and watching the race. He's back there in 16th spot, 55 laps down, and pretty much done for the day. And he's going to have some points make up to do next week at the Las Vegas Motors. Keeping an eye on lap times between the top 2 drivers of Walker Thomas and Thomas Baresi is now knocked down to 2.4 seconds. Coming to the line this time by, it is 2.3 seconds. So a 10th has been gained for Thomas Baresi, but we are less than 10 laps to go. Actually, we are 10 laps to go here.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to have enough time to catch him, but I'm sure he's going to try. Still running about 2.3 seconds behind. He can see Walker Thomas. Actually, that just kind of went up to 2.4. So they're kind of swapping, running right about the same lap times. Just last time around here as they cross the start-finish line, we'll take a look at the lap times and see the difference here. Is it looks like
2.4.
Walker Thomas was 10th faster than Thomas Baresi that lap.
Yeah, absolutely. 31.025 compared to Baresi's 31.143. That's a 10th quicker right there. But I tell you what, let's throw Levi into the cockpit of Thomas Baresi here. And Levi, if you were Thomas and you have 8 laps to go, do you think it's too little too late when you're 2.3 seconds back?
Not necessarily, but you just gotta start digging. I mean, you gotta start searching different grooves. I mean, I just noticed right now I just went up a little bit different groove, but you just gotta start doing something like that. I mean, you gotta try something different to try to make up that time.
Yeah, absolutely. Down in turn number 3, I am seeing Thomas here. Utilizing the bottom in 3 and 4, using the apron as much as he can, and Walker Thomas did the same thing. Turn 1 and 2. Oh, go ahead.
Thing is that he just
Oh!
lost caution.
Caution on the speedway, and it is a wreck down in turn number 2 of John Dykeman, the last driver on the lead lap, and this changes everything here, Dave.
Yeah, I look for all the leaders to come down as we're going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, see if we can see exactly what happened. I think maybe that transition from going down and coming back up, the transition from coming from the apron to the back of the track just got him around, and then he just lost it, and that brought out a caution. So this is going to tighten the field up. So this is definitely we're going to have a battle here.
Oh man, I thought he would have had it saved as soon as he entered the racetrack. At least try to get it slowed down to where you're not going to spin it out. And luckily he just touched the throttle and it just spun out on him, and he's trying to correct it and overcorrecting it here. Yep, that's going to bring out our 4th caution this evening. Oh boy, Walker did not want to see that whatsoever. And now, folks, since iRacing Day, we do not have green-white checkers on iRacing. So this race can end under yellow, but I do have a feeling we are going to go back green flag racing because it was a caution flag before the 5 laps to go mark. And here we go. Look at this. Walker Thomas hitting the pits. As well as Thomas Bresci. This was a 2-man horse race. This just brought Tyler Hensley back into the mix as well, who only has rear end damage on that truck. He's probably not as fast as Bresci or Walker Thomas, but I tell you what, he's going to get a top 3 finish here today. Oh, and he's pretty much got a shot at the race lead.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see Thomas take maybe 2 tires on this one.
I'm seeing 4 tires.
4, yeah.
You got to go with the 4. I mean, I think that was just too many laps to take 2 tires. But it is going to be Walker Thomas out on the track first, Thomas Bresci in second, and Tyler Hensley in third. John Dykeman, who brought out that yellow, is actually going to remain on the speedway. I don't think he could have pit because he went a lap down. So if anything, pit road will be open for him this time by... I think the first car that would get a lucky dog would be Zach Lindgren, who's 2 laps down in 6th.
Tanner, I think they gave it to J-Wall.
Oh,
already.
they did? Yeah, yep. They did. Yep, you're right. Jonathan Wall got the lucky dog. So, and he's going to be able to pit and get back into this mix right here. Oh, Dave, I tell you what a change of unfortunate events that has happened here at Chicagoland. Holy cow.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have 5 trucks on the lead lap. The only problem is, in 5th place is going to be John Dykeman, but he's going to have over 15 laps on his tires. Meanwhile, Jonathan Wall down on pit road right now, getting some service. So he's going to be on a little bit fresher tires than our top 3.
Yeah, Wall actually will be in 4th place at the start of the green flag here when we do go back green flag racing. It'll just be John Dykeman who's just going to have to get a wave around to remain on the lead lap right here, but he will be one of the slowest guys since he did not pit. But the fresh tire guys is Walker Thomas, Thomas Bresci, Tyler Hensley, and Jonathan Wall.
Yeah, it looks like J-Wall's staying on pit road to get some damage fixed for this last one.
That's actually probably a good thing. Get as much damage as you can to get repaired and see what you can do with it. But right ahead of Walker is Robert Kenny, Rusty Capel, Timothy Moore, Patrick McLaurin, John Dykeman, and Zach Lindgren are all, since they did not hit the pit road, they're all going to get a wave around past the pace car on the 1-to-go signal. Might get the 1-to-go signal this time by... Keep an eye on pace car because that's going to indicate to other drivers that we are going green this next time by. Certainly it does. And here they go. The wave around cars are going to go around. And it's going to be Walker Thomas going to lead the charge here when we do go green flag racing. And if I was a betting guy that had to choose at least to pick a winner, I'm going to go with Walker Thomas. I just think he's the strongest one out of all these guys on fresh tires.
Yeah, but I don't think Thomas Bressy's just going to let him go, so I think it's going to be a heck of a battle, but you can't forget the second row, Tyler Hensley and Jonathan Wall. So they've got a chance too, because unlike Talladega, Daytona, this track here, a little back end damage really is not going to affect you that much. So I don't know. I mean, it's still anybody's ball game, but they're going to have 2 laps to settle it.
Yep. So in other words, Dave, this is officially a green-white checkered finish. Even though I just said iRacing doesn't have green-white checkers, but sometimes if the caution plays out right, you can get the green flag on the 2 to go mark. So this is realistically a green-white checkered finish here. The next flag will end the race. Here we go. Thomas Bressi is on the outside there. Walker Thomas, your leader on the bottom. We're back green flag racing. 2 laps remaining at Chicagoland. Down in turn number 1. Side by side. Oh, Bressi trying to get to that right rear quarter panel. Still trying to utilize that high line. Looks like it's going to work. They are. You're not 100% clear there, Walker, and he knows it. Giving a lot of room to these 2 drivers. Great, fantastic racing. These 2 have been doing all race long. Tyler Hensley backing up. Hensley's actually in the popcorn position. If something would have happened to the top 2 drivers, that would allow Hensley to get the lead. White flag this time by. Bressi going to use the high side here. Down in turn number 1, diving it in there. Hopefully it's going to stick. Using the high side, I think Walker's got the line. He does. Went a little too high, Thomas Bressi did. Down in turn number 2. This is his final shot to get to Walker Thomas down in turn 3. I don't think it's going to happen. No, it will not happen. It will be Walker Thomas taking the checkered flag at the Chicagoland Speedway. Thomas Bressi in 2nd place, Tyler Hensley in 3rd, Jonathan Wall in 4th, and 5th place, John Dykman. What a race, what a finish, boys. That was a pretty cool finish there.
Thomas Bressi just drove it in there on 1.
Yeah, he had to try something.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of waiting for him to wait till turn 3 to do something, but hey, you got to take it when you can.
Yeah, absolutely. And we will be interviewing folks with the top 3 drivers, trying to find Walker Thomas here, and there he is. So with that being said here, folks, Levi, we thank you for coming and joining us here in the booth here at the closing stages here at Chicagoland Speedway. Very unfortunate for today, but hopefully if you're coming back next week for Las Vegas, hopefully we'll get them next week.
Well, we'll be. Just depends on work schedule, but I appreciate Tanner and Dave having me in here tonight. If you guys need anything, just let me know.
That was Levi Zielinski, folks, who's finished. Got to look on the thing here, 21st here tonight. Very unfortunate, but hopefully he gets better luck next week down in Vegas. Meanwhile, let's talk to our top 3 drivers. Let's talk to our 3rd place driver, Tyler Hensley, who we did talk to at the start of the broadcast. And Tyler, man, you had an eventful day here at Chicagoland for sure.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, and you get a top 3 spot. That is, and you come away with the points lead. That is an eventful day. I mean, you can't script this stuff. Your thoughts on today's race?
It was up and down, to say the least. I was very displeased. 2 cautions in a row, and everything took a huge turn. I think it was that 3rd caution when that big wreck happened. But it sucks that we wanted up a lot of trucks, but taking the points lead is taking the points lead.
Absolutely. Now, Michael Fennison seems like he's a fast driver every single week, no matter what track you go to. And that is a very true statement according to the statistics of the Hardline Racing League. Now, since you got the points lead, and so far it's a comfortable points lead, what do you think you have to do to try to maintain this points lead in the final, 3 races to go, I believe?
Just got to get after it every lap. Honestly, that's what it's going to come down to. Just got to get after it every lap. I'm not gonna gain any points if I sit around and try and quote unquote points race. I gotta go get it if I'm gonna make it happen.
All right, there, Tyler. Well, and I would ask you, how do you think about your chances at Las Vegas? But I do believe we covered that earlier in your interview, and according to your stat sheet right here, you did qualify 5th and you finished 3rd. So I'd say you got a really good shot at another top 5 finish.
I'm really excited for Las Vegas. I hope it's not quite like this, but at the end of the day, a top 3 finish, I can't be too unhappy after today. So.
All right, Tyler. Well, we thank you for coming to join us in the booth twice today here at Chicagoland. Hopefully it's better luck next week, but also same result finish.
Hey, it's been fun. You guys do a good job. I appreciate you guys broadcasting.
We'd like to thank Tyler Hensley for joining us here in the booth today, not once but twice here at Chicagoland, and he pulls off a 3rd place finish. Now let's go one up to Thomas Bresci, who had a shot at the win there. Thomas Bresci, do you have a copy?
I got you guys.
Looked like you were maintaining your speed before that caution thing came out, and that was just a prayer given to you when that caution came out, because you had a shot right there, and all of a sudden you tried getting down there in turn 1 on that high side, which seemed like the line to go as far as tires go, but you didn't, and it looked like you drifted a little too high down turn number 2. Talk about the closing stages of today's race.
Well, yeah, that last caution was, I mean, that was lucky, but to be honest, the first 2 big crashes were lucky, because I was not a second place truck at all tonight. There were some guys that were a good deal faster than I was that got taken out, which sucks, because, you know, obviously you'd like to see more people running at the end. But yeah, I mean, that last restart, I tried to get into one. I was trying to see if I could get my nose at least look to the inside when I got to 1, and he was staying way down there. So I figured, well, if I get it to the top and at least have kind of a good arc into the corner, I might be able to get him, and it just didn't rotate enough for me in the center, so I just had to get off the gas, and that was that. But it was a lot of fun. I personally don't get to race Tyler a whole lot, because he's usually a heck of a lot faster than I am, but I don't know, just after that second wreck, I just seem to have decent, or the kind of pace that he had, well, somewhat anyways, just at least enough to hang with him, which surprised me, because in the start of the race, he was up there battling in the top 3, and I was just kind of hanging on to what I had, and I don't know where the extra speed came from. I don't know if it was slightly cleaner air or what, but that was a crazy race. I got lucky getting the second place. Again, didn't really have the speed to finish second, at least with everyone that was running or started tonight, but it was a lot of fun at the end.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looked like it was a lot of fun indeed, as right now, looking at the points standings here, Thomas, you're probably going to find out eventually, so I'm going to tell you anyways. You've now moved up to 3rd in points, 28 points back, but that you're still short on the win column there. What do you feel about your trying to get the victory lane finally next week at Las Vegas?
I mean, I certainly hope I can get a win at some point. I mean, when we were at Las Vegas earlier in the year, I think I finished 4th there, so I got decent speed there. But I mean, when the chase system doesn't, you know, force you to have wins to keep moving on or anything like that, or the chase that we don't have in this series, which in my opinion is fine, you know, just being consistent ends up paying off. That's what I try to do, but it doesn't always pan out. But I don't know. We'll see if we can get one in the W column before the season's up. I don't know. We've been close. Tonight was another. I mean, again, with a little bit of luck on my side for a change, it was close, but just can't sometimes just come home a spot or 2 short. But I mean, we'll see how it goes next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is your first time getting a 2nd place finish this season. The other times were just 3rd place finishes, and it was 3 times at Eldora, Kentucky, and New Hampshire were your other 3rd place finishes. So it's one step closer to victory lane, Thomas. Well, congratulations on a 2nd spot there, and hopefully you can go get them at Las Vegas.
Thanks a lot, guys.
That was Thomas Bresci, folks, in the number 25 machine. Had a whale of a run today there, Dave, but we're going to go one step up down to victory lane to Walker Thomas. And Walker Thomas, do you have a copy?
Gotcha.
Well, I tell you what, that was a great performance there by you today. And talk about when that big accident happened. You knew you had to make a move, and you made the move in the middle of the corner on Joshua Adams, who was on 2 tires. What were your thoughts on that incident there today?
Well, me and Mike were pretty even. So when he was on the outside on that restart, I figured I had to take as much advantage as I could, try to get under him and get in front of him just to try to hold him off because it was hard to pass him. And then Josh was there with 2 tires, and once he slid up, I saw the hole. I hope I wasn't any of the reason to cause that, which I was told I wasn't, but I really hope it wasn't anything I did. But I'm just lucky I was able to make it through it as well. I think it took out a lot of good trucks with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Walker, it was a dominant performance by you today. You started second. You averaging your speeds in the top 3 on speed charts, both practice and qualification. Second, and then you win today. Was it hard to pass other drivers out there today? What are your thoughts on that?
I thought the track temperature was really great today. Hardline normally has a little bit cooler temps, and they made it a little bit warmer today, and it made for a lot of wear, which created a lot of passing, a lot of separation later on in the run. Early in the run, which we kind of witnessed in like the first 30 laps, only about 10 lap runs, it was a lot of full throttle basically, which keeps everybody closer together, and it's a little harder to pass. But later on, it was really fun to drive, and it created a lot of good racing, I felt like.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I gotta get your thoughts on the closing stages of today's race. When that caution came out, what was your reaction when that caution came out?
Felt like Martin Truex at Kentucky, honestly, out front, and basically almost there to the end, and it came out, which was kind of a bummer. But at the same time, there was only, I think, 3 of us on the lead lap at the time, so I knew I'd be restarting in the first 2 rows, so whatever I did, I figured everybody else would do, which is what happened. So I figured I was still in a good spot no matter what there, and it ended up working out for me.
Yep, absolutely. And Walker, well, we thank you for taking the time with coming up to the booth here and talk with us today. Final thoughts before here, Walker. How do you think your chances to go 2 in a row at Las Vegas next week?
I love the 1.5 miles, so I'm feeling pretty confident going to Las Vegas.
All right, Walker. Well, we thank you for taking your time, and good luck at Las Vegas next week.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
That was Walker Thomas, who finishes the race today, and we'd like to congratulate Walker on a great victory here at Chicagoland Speedway. And Dave, final thoughts before we wrap up today's show here at Chicagoland.
Well, we pretty much saw it all. We saw some pit strategy, green flag, and unfortunately we saw the big one that took out a lot of trucks here. But I'm sure all these drivers will be headed to the hauler, forgetting about tonight's race, getting ready for next week at Las Vegas, which I'm definitely can't wait to see that.
I just wonder if fuel mileage is going to happen next week at Las Vegas, because if it does turn to a fuel mileage race, I just wonder who's going to roll the dice in Vegas and take that gamble. So my question is to everybody, do you feel lucky? Do these drivers feel lucky? We'll find out next week. Next week, Wednesday night on August 16th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time for the 2017 Fast Track Sims Hardline Truck Series in the Hardline Racing League live here on the Dre Broadcasting Network. We would like to thank the league organizers for allowing us to broadcast their races and putting on a great show, especially here today at Chicagoland and also last week at Talladega. So hopefully all this great racing these guys do will continue next week at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Thanks to Dave for putting on the great broadcast as he always does, always doing the stuff behind the scenes and stuff. Great. Thank you to him. Thank you to everybody for watching the broadcast here tonight. We will see you next week, Wednesday night, for the Hardline Racing League. See you then. Race clean, everybody.